The first of these 5 easy basketball moves that break ankles is a simple dribble and jab out with the opposite foot. I'm gonna have drills for all these moves. The first one, you just want to set up 3 cones at a 90-degree angle from each other, about shoulder width apart for each of them. And you want the cones at about the free throw line. You're simply gonna dribble, step, and touch the cone to the side, and then take one more dribble to touch the cone in front of you. This is one of the simplest but shiftiest moves you can have in your game to fake defenders out and even getting a few people to fall to the ground. Big key is that you're selling that fake. What those cone touches are gonna do is force you to get low and lean your hips and your chest into the fake and get you a longer first step and active offhand so you can protect the basketball while sealing your defender off. Of course, you'll want to work on all this with both hands. Next move is deadly and builds right off the first move, but before we get into it, click the top link in the description, also the pin to the comment. That's a free workout that'll take all these moves next level fast for you. It only takes minutes to do and it's free, so why not grab it? Next move, you're simply gonna cross over and then go into that exact same step as before. So whichever hand is getting the basketball, you're gonna step out with the opposite foot in the opposite direction. All the keys for selling that fake are gonna apply, which we'll master with the drill coming up. But the big thing you want to pay attention to is that you come from more upright and drop down. That's where you're going to catch a lot of defenders off guard. And then after that crossover, you're simply going to go into those same 2 cone touches to do the drill. Crossover, touch with the opposite hand and the foot stepping out, and then that same foot steps forward and then touching the cone ahead of you. Once again, make sure you work on this with both hands so you're deadly going both directions. That's one of the easiest things you can do that makes you really hard to guard and helps you break more ankles. Next move is deadly. It's a simple tweak. All we're gonna do is go between the legs and then take that same step. This one is a little bit more difficult, but I promise you, put in 10 minutes of practice, you can probably get this down within a couple days. So it's almost the same as the last one. We're just going between the legs, but that's gonna do a lot for the move. Number 1, going between your legs will give you a little protection with that leg so you can get closer to your defender on the setup, which makes it easier to get past your defender if you're close to them because there's not all that space between you and the defender. Number 2, they're not gonna expect that jab step coming right after that between the legs. As far as the drill goes, it's gonna be pretty much the same as the last one. Again, make sure you work on it with both hands. If just getting the dribble down feels a little bit challenging right now, I would hold off on doing the drill until you feel like you've mastered that. Next move, you want to pound the basketball hard, side to side, behind the back, and then once again, the exact same jab step out. We're gonna switch things up a bunch on the next 2 moves, so stick with me. But this one is actually not too tough to get down as long as you got your behind the back down. If you're having a hard time with this behind the back, the easiest thing I can give you is just work on pounding that dribble. That'll make it a lot easier if you just rep it out. Besides that, make sure again you start from more upright and then dip down low. Not only will that make the move easier for you to do, but it'll also catch your defender off guard. Once again, same drill applies as all the other ones. Next 2 moves are absolutely bonkers. First one, you're just gonna drop the basketball kind of more straight up and down while you're more upright, and you want to add some quick little choppy steps to kind of freeze your defender up. You want to make sure from there you're getting nice and close to your defender and then whip right into a spin move. So freeze them up by making that nonchalant hand switch and those quick choppy steps. Get nice and tight and then pull the ball right back into your spin move. For your drill, you simply want to work on getting close to 2 cones so you can get that spacing right. If you pull off the spin move too far from your defender, the move won't work. So that's the only big detail you need to pay attention to. Now this might look kind of crazy and difficult to do, but it's actually pretty easy to get down as long as you've got your basic spin down. Next move is crazy. We're gonna do a similar setup, but you're gonna drop that basketball behind the back instead of a regular crossover. So it's very similar to the last move. And then from there, again, pull into the spin move. So you're basically gonna push the basketball straight up and down and your body's gonna move across the basketball to make that behind the back hand switch. You can take all these moves next level by grabbing the free workout that I'll pin to the top comment, also in the top link in the description. And I'll also have a YouTube video with some moves you can combo in with all these moves in both those spots.